was now about 2 o'clock of a moonless night. Clouds hung black and low. Bodwell was at the window in a minute, shouting, frothing a little, shaking his fist. "We'll sell the house and go back to Peoria," we could hear Mrs. Bodwell saying. It was some time before Mother got through to Bodwell. "Burglars!" she shouted. "Burglars in the house?" Herman and I hadn't dared to tell her that it was not burglars but ghosts, for she was even more afraid of ghosts than of burglars. Bodwell at first thought that she meant there were burglars in his house, but finally he quieted down and called the police for us over an extension phone by his bed. After he had disappeared from the window, Mother suddenly made as if to throw another shoe, not because there was further need of it, but, as she later explained, because the thrill of heaving a shoe through a window glass had enormously taken her fancy. I prevented her. Now children, here we see that in the last clips and all, yesterday we saw that the burglars have come in. They all are in a mess, thinking whether it is a ghost or a burglar and all. They don't know, but they can't even see anyone, so they are frightened. By making their noise and all, when they shout, they find their mother coming out when they bang the door. Now when the mother comes out, even she is, surprised that what is going on, who's there, burglars and all. And now here, what she has done, she has thrown a shoe where from her house to her neighbor's window. And when she threw the shoe over there, it was almost 2 o'clock of moonless night. That means, what do you mean by moonless night? The day when there is no moon in the sky. We all know that till some days we can find moonlight, sometimes we don't find moonlight, isn't it? Whenever it is full moon time, you will find the moonlight, and whenever there is when there is no full moon time, you will find it is dark outside in the night. In short, to explain you, Paurnami and Amavasa, isn't it? So when we have Amavas, it is moonless night. When we have Paurnami, it is moonlight. Okay. Now it was moonless night, 2 o'clock. So at that time, what happened? All the clouds were black, and now this Bodwell, who is he? Bodwell, he is the neighbor of Herman. What happened over there? The writer's mother threw a shoe over there. Okay, so what Bodwell is saying, he was at the window for a minute. When the shoe was thrown, he came to the window just for a minute. He saw and he started shouting, so that whether the burglar or whoever had thrown the shoe could hear the shouting. What did they shout? Shouting that, shouting with shaking his fist. That means angry. He was very much angry, and when you are in anger, what we do? Your whole body gets, isn't it? You are like nervous kind of things, and you start going, let me see who is that and all. We are in such a condition, isn't it? So Bodwell was shouting, and he said that to his wife, he said that let us sell this house and go back to Peoria, go back to our place. And we could hear, who could hear this saying? Who was saying this? His wife was saying. Bodwell's wife was saying that let us sell the house and go back to Peoria. It was some sometime before mother got to Bodwell, okay, just sometime before mother got through to Bodwell, burglars, okay, and she shouted. When she saw that, she shouted, mother shouted to Bodwell that it is burglars, there are burglars. And when he heard that there are burglars, he immediately, what he did, he went and made a phone call so that he could help his neighbor, okay, that was his intention. So he called the police and he said that in this area, this is the address, and so whatever it is, there are burglars, so you people come down. He just helped for helping them. Now what happened? Suddenly mother wanted to throw another shoe. Why did she wanted to throw another shoe? Because she just wanted to fascinate herself. I throwed one, let me do the other one. Let us give thrill, let it be a thrilling thing and all. Without reason she wanted, and the children stopped her from doing that. It's not necessary. What you wanted to do, you have done it. For it had been, he has called the police will come within a short time. So it's not necessary to do it again. Unnecessary, okay. So here, in this story till here, we see that sometimes we do things which is not so important. Like see the Bodwell's wife, with anger she shouting, we leave this house and go. You should just realize what is happening at night 2 o'clock. If someone is throwing a stone, what it could be, either a thief or maybe someone may be in trouble. Whatever it is, we have to find out, isn't it? Even if they change the house, there also something could happen like this, isn't it? So we have to be very careful in our life. We have to think first, what is it exactly? We have to analyze things. Just don't put your words. Sometimes in our life, if someone do something, we just say, and then afterwards when you come to know that he done such a thing, for what reason, you feel sad. ஐயோ அவனை இப்படிலாம் பேசிட்டேனே, அவன் நல்ல எண்ணத்தோடு தானே செஞ்சிருக்கான், நல்ல காரியம் தானே சொல்லியிருக்கான். This is what. So அதாவது in Tamil we say ஆத்திரத்துல வார்த்தையை கொட்டுறது. So we should not do that. We should not do that. We should not, with in excitement, we should not pour out the words. Before saying something, we have to think what we are saying. Is it necessary? Whatever we are thinking, is it true? Why the stone has been thrown? Who has thrown? What is going on? You should wait, you should analyze the things, and then we have to speak accordingly. And the next thing what we see here is, see the mother, what she did. Without reason, she wanted to throw the another shoe also. She wanted to throw the another shoe. Why? Unnecessary. Simply. She wanted it to be a thrilling. So it is of no use just for namesake. Onnu visechi innonu visirunga chenje varum. Chumma neram pokku. No. When we do it for neram pokku, we are affecting someone else. Already when she has thrown one shoe, of course the window's glass would have been broken. If she throws the another one, we are not sure that it will go in the same place. It may go anywhere else. So she may damage another glass too. Not necessarily that she would aim the perfect place. Maybe another window, or maybe the same window, but it may go and fall on the head of Mr. Bodwell or his wife, or maybe it may go and fall on some other things which would be there inside the house. Why, isn't it? Why simply without reason, why we have to do? Like, we say in a place, we say, just because all are doing, even I am doing. No. If I want it, I have to do it. If I don't need, there is no requirement. Just because all are entering inside the pool, you are not supposed to enter inside the pool. If you feel comfortable, you can. Okay, so this is what this lesson teaches us. Now let us go to the next one. The police were on hand in commendably short time. A Ford sedan full of them, 2 on motorcycles and a patrol wagon with about 8 in it and a few reporters. Okay, within some time of the call, the police had entered, full of police, filled with a Ford sedan car, then 2 on motorcycles and patrol wagon is the patrol van, in which 8 of them were there, and some reporters had come. They began banging at a front door. When they had come, they started knocking at the door. Flashlights shot streaks on gleam up and down the walls, and they started, rest all of the other policemen started showing the torchlight everywhere, up, down, and at all the sides of the walls. Across the yard, what is the yard? We say Muttam, okay, Veetu Muttam, say there, that is the yard. Across the yard, down the walk between our house and Bodwell's, and that means we say Mudukku in our village, okay, and there too, the place between the writer's house and the Bodwell's house, in that place, in that open up area, then open up, cried a hoarse voice. Someone with a big voice said, open up, that means open the door. We are men from headquarters. We are from headquarters. I wanted to go down and let them in. So the writer wanted to go down and open the door for them. Since there they were, but because they were there, but mother wouldn't hear of it. Mother would not listen to him. He says, I will go down and open, but mother was ignoring. Mother was not allowing him to go and do that. And she said, you haven't a stitch on. You haven't put your dress. She pointed out. You'd catch your death. If you go there, you will die. I won't the towel around me again. And then he took his towel, he wound it. That means he put it around him. Finally, the cops put their shoulders to a big heavy front door with its thick beveled glass and broke it in. And by the time he was covering himself with the towel around him, the police, what they started doing, they started to push the heavy door which had a thick glass on it. Okay, they started banging the door, pushed the door, and they broke it open. And I could hear a rending of wood and a splash of glass on the floor of the hall. And when they did that, he could hear that the wood beam falling down on the floor and the glass pieces scattering on the floor of the hall. Their lights played all over the living room and crisscrossed nervously in the dining room. And he could see the torchlights all over the hall and also in the dining room. But in the dining room, it was with nervousness, with the fear whether the burglar is there. Stabbed into hallways, and then it went to the hallways. That means from the hall to the other ways, maybe upstairs and all. Shot up the front stairs, and then up in the stairs, and finally up the back, and then the back side. They caught me standing in my towel at the top, and they saw the writer standing on the top of the stairs with a towel around him. A heavy policeman bounded up the steps. A fat policeman caught him up in the steps. Who are you? And he demanded, and he asked, who are you? I live here, I said, and he said that I stay here. Now, dear children, in this we see that in the last clip we saw Bodwell complained to the police, and immediately they came in. See how many of them had come. So many policemen had come here in Ford sedan car, in motorcycles, in patrol wagon, and also some reporters had come. So all those people are taking risk for this particular family, that is the writer's family. And at that time, when they are knocking the door, the writer's mother says, you don't go down to open the door. Why? Because if you go down, the thieves are there, they will catch hold of you and they will demand the police that if you catch me, I will kill this boy. And why do you want to put your life in danger? Why do you want to die? Don't go. Let the police do their work. That means police life is not important, only her son's life is important. My dear children, just give a thought for your own self. Today, even we and our parents are like this. If you want something and you think that that work is very risk or danger, you would ask someone other to do that. Why? Because if you go, you will hurt yourself. If you do, that is very heavy work. Please chaipa. Why you say? Because you feel lazy to do that work, or you feel that work is dangerous. You may pay to someone and ask them to do the work. ஏப்பா அந்த முள் மரம் ஏறி அந்த காயெல்லாம் பறிச்சிரு, உனக்கு வேணா துட்டு எவ்வளோ வேணா தாரேன். ஏன் உன் மரம் தானே, நீ ஏறின, ஏப்பா அந்த முள்ளெல்லாம் குத்தும்பா. So you're making yourself safe. You will pay money to others, but you will not think that the thorn will hurt them also. See, she will save her son, but she is not thinking even the police is working for them. They also have life. Do you understand what I want to say? நான் ஏறினா எனக்கு முள்ளு குத்தும், அவனுக்கு துட்டு கொடுக்கறதுனால அவனுக்கு முள்ளு குத்தாதோ? என் மகன் கீழே போனால் அவன் உயிர் போவோம். போலீஸ்க்கு வேலையே இதுதான். அவன் உள்ள வந்தால் அவன் உயிருக்கு ஆபத்து இல்லையா? Do you understand my meaning? But we think like that. நம்ம அப்படி தான் யோசிக்கிறோம். துட்டு கொடுத்தா அவனுக்கு வலிக்காது, அவன் வேலையே அதானே, அதான் அவன் செய்யட்டும், நான் ஏன் போகணும். நம்ம அப்படி தான் யோசிக்கிறோம். அவங்களுக்கு ஆபத்து இல்லை, நம்மளுக்கு தான் ஆபத்து. No, my dear children, it's not like that. It is dangerous for you as well as for me. But here, the writer's mother has played a selfish role where she did not wanted her son to go and take risk. நாமளும் இன்னைக்கு அப்படி தான் இருக்கிறோம். We are elders. We are like that. If we find someone in a problem on the way or wherever, we will not run to help them. சும்மா வேடிக்கை பார்த்துட்டு வந்துடும். ஏன்பா கிட்ட போய் நம்ம ஏதாவது செய்யணும், இப்போ நம்மளுக்கு வம்பு எதுக்கு, அதோட பார்த்தாச்சா தூரம் வந்துருங்க. We must not be. Just think, நாளைக்கு அந்த இடத்துல நீ இருந்து அந்த இடத்துல இருக்க நபர் உன்னை அப்படி உத்து பார்த்துட்டு போனானா எப்படி இருக்கும்? எப்போ ஒருத்தனாவது எனக்கு உதவி பண்ண மாட்டியா? அந்த ஒரு இது வரும் இல்லையா? யோசித்து பாருங்க. ஹவ் ஆர் வி இன் ஆர் லைஃப்? பக்கத்து வீட்டுக்காரனுக்கே உதவ மாட்டோம். பாவம் பாட்வெல், அட்லீஸ்ட் ஹி மேட் அ ஃபோன் கால். வீட்டை விட்டு போகிறோன்னு சொன்னாலும் ஒரு ஃபோன் கால் அது பண்ணியிருக்கிறாரு. But we don't even do that. We are so selfish. We must not be that selfish in our life. Let us learn to be helpful. Let us learn to be kind and a helping hand to others. The officer in charge reported to mother. No sign of nobody, lady, he said. Must have gone away. What? He like? There were 2 or 3 of them, mother said, whooping and carrying on slamming doors. Funny, said the cop. All your windows and door was locked on the inside tight as a tick. Downstairs we could hear the tromping of the other police. Police were all over the place. Doors were yanked open. Drawers were yanked open. Now, after they asked, they saw everywhere in the house, they couldn't find anyone. Outside, they didn't find anyone. Then the officer in charge told to the writer's mother that we did not find anyone here. We did not find any sign, neither footsteps nor any things fallen down or even something broken or anything. Nothing we did see here. And then he said, they must have gone away. Can you tell us how did they look? Can you tell us how did they look? And he also said that the mother was saying that there were two or three of them. See now, how what a joke it is. This is what we also do sometimes in our life. She didn't even see. She didn't see anyone. She didn't even hear the sound. Nothing. Just only because of the door sound of their son, she came out, and whatever they said, she believed. And she's saying that she saw 2 to 3 of them. How funny, isn't it? And now, whooping and carrying on slamming doors. Now, whooping and carrying on slamming doors means, now she was, already she is a funny lady, isn't it? Just saying things which she had never seen. So just imagine what kind of work she would have done. Now, whooping and slamming. Slamming, the banged, okay, already banged. The doors were already fallen down. Okay, see, on that she was just going, and she was saying, and now funny, said the cop. When he heard the mother saying 2 or 3 of them, the police said, it's very funny. 2 and 3 of them, and there is no sign at all. All your windows and doors was locked from inside, and that was very tightly, because they have broken it, isn't it? So they know it was tightly locked from inside, and you're saying 2 or 3 of them. Really, it's funny. Then from where did they come in? Now, downstairs we could hear the tromping of the other police. Downstairs, that means they were up, and now down they could hear the police sound, and police were all over the place. The police were everywhere. Police were everywhere, where down the stairs at the ground floor, and the doors were yanked open. Drawers were yanked open. Now, when the police and when the police were down, the doors and the drawers, what are the drawers? In the dining room, you may have drawers to keep your spoons and bowls and all. They were all yanked open. So that is what the police was saying. Everything was just yanked open, and you're saying, oh, the meaning of yanked is to pull with force. Pull with force. So the police said, your doors were forcefully opened, your drawers were forcefully opened. Only those 2 things were opened. Otherwise, nothing were open. They were all tightly locked. The downstairs police were saying doors were forcefully opened, and the drawers were also forcefully opened. Now, when they said this, now from this passage, what can we learn? What is it that we learn? In this passage, we learn, as in the first 3 lines I said about the funny thing about the mother, without knowing something, we just elaborate things. Without knowing. We have just heard something, someone saying, as I told you in previous videos. We just elaborate, oh, 2 of them, 3 of them, as if I have seen. You know nothing. She should have told, don't know, we have not seen, we have only heard the sound. No, I have not seen anyone. My sons have heard the sounds. She could have said the truth, but she said that she has seen 2 or 3 of them. Isn't that funny? Of course, it is so funny. In this full video that we seen today, we learn that first of all, we must be helpful to others. Being a neighbor, we have to be helpful to others without any reason, just for the sake of we must not do anything. நேரம் போக்குக்கு எதுவும் செய்யக்கூடாது. Like the mother wanted to throw the another shoe. And then just we must not elaborate things. தேவையில்லாம எதையும் நம்ம பார்க்காதது பார்த்த மாதிரி சொல்லக்கூடாது. We must not be selfish. சுயநலமா இருக்கக்கூடாது. If we do all these things, we are going to put other people in trouble, as well as even we will be in trouble. நாமளும் கஷ்டத்துல இருப்போம், அடுத்தவங்களையும் கஷ்டப்படுத்தும். Isn't it? See, the whole night their sleep was disturbed just because of this unnecessary thing. Even the police and everyone were in the trouble, isn't it? So it is better that we mind our own business. Now children, let us go for our homework.